right, here we are in the 1965 Beetle, Ruby Red. So what I want you guys to see is how well the car rides with the lowered suspension, and just kind of how smooth it shifts, and just kind of how nice it is. It's such a cool car. Came up from California, I think 8 years ago, something like that. And then once it got up into, it was actually southern Washington in the Vancouver area, where it was restored. So, and the restoration, as you can see, was, you know, some body work, paint, and the interior. And it was just done really well. It just shows, I can't tell you how nice it actually shows. It's just a beautiful car. So the dash, like I had said, was left alone. It's the original paint, still looks really nice. You know, kind of cool that it's original paint. Would have it bothered me if it was painted to matte, you know, at the time? No. But either way, it's still a nice piece. Shows really, really well. So shifts really nice. Brakes work great. I'm in third right there. Probably could have gone into second. But it's got a Hurst shifter, and the Hurst shifter is really cool. The knob, the ball on the shifter is kind of big, and it's a little different than what most of these Volkswagens have. But it feels good. And then the lever to go into reverse is kind of cool. But you don't see many in these V-dubs. So I like it. It's cool. And then everything that I know of works on this too. We got the wipers that work right here. Headlights. Turn signals. So I don't know if you can tell, but we went over kind of a bumpy area right there, and it's not bouncing me around. Nothing's violent in the cab with the suspension. Now, if you're going fast and you hit a bump, it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna be loud. But you know, if you're driving this thing around town and it's you're going from A to B and it's, you know, fairly normal road, it's a really comfortable ride. And it sounds good too. So this is a 1200cc. In the walk around video I said it was 1100cc, and I make that mistake all the time. I don't know why, but regardless, 11 or 1200, it's a small engine and it doesn't put out much horsepower. So it's you're not going to go and get many speeding tickets in it. It's just kind of a fun car to run around town in, and people love the car. The Ruby Red's really cool. It's factory color in 65, and this was just resprayed in the factory color. Turns easily. You'll probably hear a little bit of rubbing on the tire and the headlight housing. It's worse if you're going downhill at an angle and turning right, but it's nothing horrible. It's just one of those things, and it's every so often. And in the walk around video I mentioned, if you went with a little bit lower profile tire, you'd probably eliminate that pretty quickly. I also said in the video, I love how that's how the tire sizes work on this car, and I think they just look really cool. So I wouldn't touch it. If I was to keep the car, I wouldn't touch it. Bendix radio, AM and FM. That works. You don't see many of those. Mostly you just see them in the AM. Fuel tank. Sensor works, horn works. All the lights on the dash work. The visors look great. A little bit of pitting here on the rear view mirror, but in all the V-dubs, all the Type 1s that I've had, they're all like that. The exhaust is an aftermarket exhaust, and I've got the original, if you want to keep the original exhaust, and I've got the original I-beam. So you can take the car back up to stock fairly easily if you'd like to. I personally love the look of this. I don't think it's hard to make a Type 1 Volkswagen look bad. I think no matter what, well, that's not true. If you lower it tastefully, it'll look great. If you leave it stock, of course they look great. And this one is just, it's done modestly, it's done tastefully, it's done correctly, and there's options with it. There's original parts that come with it if you do not like the lowered stance, but you like the car. Red on red package is something that's, you know, always going to be a popular color combo. And then Volkswagen with their ivory interior is just a good idea.